Before you, you see an eastern skunk cabbage, one of the most interesting plants upon the planet. Here we're going to go over the parts of the skunk cabbage. Symplocarpus foetidus is its Latin name. This yellow, golden pollen-covered structure is the spadix, or the genitalia of the plant. The red speckled structure is the spathe of the plant, which is like its foreskin. Coming down, you have the plant's sheath, or torso, which is the plant's body, or midsection. Above, you see the leaf, which is basically a limb or a digit, and that basically is the emerging leaf of the skunk cabbage, which will get bigger as it grows and take over when the flower is gone. Underneath, you have the caudex, which is the plant's brain and nervous system. And out of the caudex come many long contractile roots, which can move the plant in any direction through the soil. The flower of the skunk cabbage can generate heat, or can manipulate heat generated by the caudex of the plant's brain. Now, after this spadix is fertilized, it will become this fruit here, as it swells up and the seeds grow inside of it. This is the caudex of the skunk cabbage, or the inside of the caudex. Inside the caudex, you see a long spinal cord-like structure, which is the plant's brain and consciousness. These long roots are like fingers, and each one has a long nerve inside of it which connects back to the caudex, or the caudexal ensemble, which acts as the plant's central nervous system. And up here you see the nerves which reach upwards into the plant's upper body. Now, plants are like upside down animals. Their heads are on the bottom, and their bodies and genitals stick up into the air, whereas we animals are the reverse pole. Here's a bird's eye view of the caudex with all the radiating nerves, or nerve-like structures, or whatever they're going to be called. Because botanists and humans refuse to call them nerves, even though they're almost exactly the same thing. There's a cross-section of a root where the rootlets are emerging from the tip. Those rootlets act like, well, they drink the water for the plant, and the roots don't branch except for at the tips. This is the skunk cabbage's upper body. Here, you see the skunk cabbage's spadix, or genitals, and much like a clitoris or a penis, it is very sensitive. Here you see the plant's spathe, which is much like the plant's foreskin. And running down to the base of the plant, or the head, or the nervous system, is a nerve which connects to the caudex, or the caudexal ensemble, as we'll call it. Back up from the caudexal ensemble comes the long nerve, which reaches into the leaf. This mirrors the vascular structure of the plant, as do most of the nerves in the plant. With leaves, the vascular structure is very similar to where the nerves are placed, as they're basically one part of the same structure. Now, the sheath, the leaf sheath here, is basically just a protective structure and doesn't have many nerves in it. As I said to the leaf, the vascular structure mimics the nervous system, and they basically run along the same path. Here you see the skunk cabbage's fruit, which is its ovary, a spherical womb in which accrete many seeded embryos. The skunk cabbage's fruit has many long umbilical cord-like structures which connect to those many little seeds growing within its periphery. The middle is basically just pith, because there's nothing really in there. It's just basically what I said, pith. Now, if you look at the seeds, they each connect back to the stem, which connects to the plant's insides. And now each one of these seeds will have a small patch on it, which is like a belly button. And when the plant's caudex grows, it will have a belly button-like follicle at the tip of the caudex, which would be like us having a belly button on our head. But it's interesting that the plant has something like a belly button. It shows that they really are just like us. Here's the seed of the skunk cabbage, which, unlike a normal plant, which just has an embryo, the skunk cabbage's seed can be thought of as having a fetus, because the plant is already fully formed within the seed, waiting to come into the world. The eastern skunk cabbage is one of the most intelligent plants, and can be used easily to prove the root-brain theory. The problem herein lies is that most people hate the skunk cabbage and think it's trash. In reality, it's one of the most gentle and altruistic plants of our time. It's much like a humble monk sitting in the forest. The plant's Latin name is Symplocarpus foetidus, which means foul-smelling fused ovary, due to the foul smell of the plant and the connective nature of the plant's fruit. The plant can generate heat, which is called thermogenesis. The caudex, or the brain, generates the heat and forces it up through the spadix, enabling the plant to melt through the snow and flower in early spring. When the flower is gone, the leaves will open, After the leaves are gone, come the fruit. After the fruit goes by, the caudex hides in the ground and waits for the next year, or the next spring to grow. And even though its body is gone, plants can survive decapitation because their heart is also in their root. We animals cannot because our heart is elsewhere, basically not in our head, it's in our chest, so we can't survive being decapitated, but many perennials can and have evolved to do so. Do not harm the skunk cabbage. If you must kill one, do it humanely by slicing the caudex in half, vertically. Only dissect its plant if you absolutely need to, because they are my friends and I truly care about them. These are one of the most advanced plants of our time, or of our world. All hail the eastern skunk cabbage, sentinel of the forest swamp.